Let me tell you about a time that I was robbed by the police and almost went to jail in Tijuana, Mexico. And to preface this, I'm going to say that Mexico is safe. It can be safe as long as you're not doing anything to cause attention to you. I used to live in San Diego for about 12 years, so going down to Tijuana was not something that was unusual because we would go probably once or twice a month. But this one time when my friend came to visit from Texas, we decided that we were going to go last minute. And when my friend came to visit, we were just planning on going to breweries here in San Diego, and we had a bunch of cash on us. So instead of waiting in line, so that they can run our credit card and do all of that, we just had cash on us because it's easier to give the bartender that stuff instead of, waiting for a card. My friend was so afraid to go to Mexico because of all the horror stories that he had heard. But once we started drinking a little bit, he was easily convinced. So we got in the car and we drove to Mexico. We weren't driving. Somebody drove us to Mexico. Our friend drove us to Mexico, who's familiar, who's from Tijuana, and knew the streets, whatever. This is the person that I used to always go with, to Mexico. So that's not weird. I think this was probably in 2016 or 2017, right when the new Mustang model came out, that newer Mustang. So my friend had one of those cars, and whenever we would go to Mexico, we would never drive that car because it was new and it was kind of flashy. It's not something that you would normally see in Mexico. So we would drive my car, or we would drive a different car that kind of just fit in with all of the other cars because you don't really want to stick out when you're over there. But we decided to just take that car over there because we didn't want to stop and, change our minds. So we just went into Mexico driving that car. We had the time of our lives. We were just having so much freaking fun while we were there. It was about 3:00 and we decided to go back over. So we get in the car and we're headed to the entry point where you go, because we're probably 20 minutes into Tijuana where all of the clubs and bars and stuff are. And when we go, we get stopped. We get stopped by the federal police. And there's a difference between federal and then city police over there. And federal are the ones that are kind of known to be a little corrupt. So they pull us over. Of course, we have California plates and we get pulled over. I don't speak any Spanish, and neither does my friend. My friend who was actually driving spoke Spanish fluently, is from Tijuana, all of that. So he was the one who was able to talk to the cops and stuff. The cops clearly knew that we were there to party and have fun. So they pulled all of us out of the car individually. They asked us what we were doing. Since I didn't speak Spanish, I couldn't really talk to them, and they weren't really trying to speak English, and I don't expect them to. So I was already scared. I sobered up really fucking quick. But when they pull us over, and when they pull us over, my friend is like, oh my goodness, just don't say anything. I'll handle this, because he was not drinking at all. And we were the ones who were drunk, me and my friend who came to visit me. So he was like, just do not say anything. I'll talk. I'll do whatever. The cops come. I can see in the rearview mirror and the side mirror that they're pointing literal guns at us and coming towards us. There's two of them coming towards us like this, towards the car, just to, I don't know, telling us to roll down the window. So then after we roll down the window, they take each of us out of the car. They ask for our ID, but they didn't let us take it out of our bag. I had a purse, a little mini clutch. They didn't let me take it out of my bag. Instead, they told me to hand over the entire purse, which had all of the money in it. They took my friend's wallet, and then they took my other friend's wallet, and they were looking through it. So they knew exactly how much money we had, along with our IDs. So I think all in all, we probably had about $600 on us, almost $600 on us, because remember, we took money out purposely because we were going to be paying cash that night everywhere that we went. And we never dropped off any money anywhere because we knew we did not need that much money when you're in Mexico. You just don't need that much money. So that's why we had so much cash on us. Usually no, you're not going to catch me with cash like that. So they look up online. They're like, we're going to take you to jail for DUI. And my friend, and over there, it's a straight up felony. So you will go to jail for a really long time if you are drunk, like for a DUI. And my friend was like, I'm not drunk, like whatever, whatever. So basically they were saying, you either pay us $1,000 or you're gonna go to jail. And they told my friend, they're like, and we're gonna take her and you guys are gonna be separated. And I was scared as shit because I don't speak Spanish and I don't want to go to jail in Tijuana, Mexico. So while my friend is talking to the cops and like telling them like, we don't have $1,000, like you can just take this, like, you know, this is the federal police, by the way. They're like, you can just take this, like whatever. And the guy's like, no, we need like 400 more. And the police, they took his ID, the one who was driving, they took his ID, they took a photo of it, they kept it, and they said, let's go over there. And they took them to like, or they took us to like an OXXO. They literally were right behind us, and they drove us to a convenience store where they had an ATM. So my friend goes in there, tries to get money. It says he can't get money. And then they take him to another one. It's like a 7-Eleven or like another OXXO, like another convenience store that has it. Same thing, nothing. So he has him try my card. He has him try like basically everybody's card. And the ATM was saying no, like we can't get money because it's like 3:00 in the morning and it's considered overseas. You know, we're like in another country, even though it's just right there. So we're telling the guy like, we can't do it. And the guy was like, okay, well then you're going to go to jail. Like we're going to take you to jail. And I was scared shitless. Plus I had to like really, really pee. So I ran in to go to the bathroom because they were like, okay, you can go to the bathroom. So I ran in, and when I was coming back out, I saw another police officer behind the federal police, and it was like the Tijuana police. And I was like, oh my God, like they're going to take me. This is the separate car. I'm about to go to jail. Like, I don't even know my mom's phone number because I rely on my cell phone to like keep all my information for me. Like, are people gonna like know that I'm in Tijuana, Mexico jail right now? So what ended up happening was the Tijuana police came up right behind the federal police. They did their lights, like, you know, they did their little light thing or whatever. I guess they went and they talked to them. They knew exactly what was happening. So it's like they almost shooed them away because they're corrupt cops, right? So the other cops, the federal cops, they call my friend over. They like honk the horn. They throw his ID at him and they say, don't come back. And then they leave. So then the the city cops, they get behind us. They're like, you guys got to get out of here because like you're already, you know, like in trouble or whatever. They get behind us and they basically follow us all the way from like wherever we were at this point to the border, like to make sure that we get in line to go like through the border. And I think if it wasn't for them, I don't know, maybe I would be in jail or they would have done something, but that's how I got robbed in Tijuana, Mexico. Don't take flashy cars. Don't like cause attention to yourself. We weren't being idiots. We were just driving a flashy car that was new and expensive at the time. So don't draw attention to yourself if you are like over there because you're in their country, you know? And that was like the first mistake. The second mistake was having so much money on us. But yeah, that's my story.